This one goes out to all the GamerGaters, people that I've known for a long time. Jezebel has been shut down. That's right! Perhaps for those of you who started listening in 2020 or the late 2010s, you know not about the GamerGate and the stories and the woke feminism and the beginning of this culture war. But my friends, I tell you that we're winning, and I mean it. This is it. Geo Media shuts down Jezebel as layoffs hit the company. For those that don't know, Jezebel is like one of the OG feminist, woke, intersectional garbage websites that pumped out a bunch of trash. And they're done. And while many of the people who had once worked there or are currently working at Vice and currently getting laid off because Vice is also laying off more people, I don't know, they're bankrupt or something, I must stress, they say, no, how could this be? The corporate establishment is winning, so they claim. I just like to point out the tremendous success of the likes of, Timcast Media, The Daily Wire, Steven Crowder, Benny Johnson. We have Tenet Media now launching a super group, as it were, with the likes of Lauren Southern, Dave Rubin, Benny Johnson, me, Taylor Hanson, Matt Christensen, and oh, so many more. How is it that we are all succeeding so tremendously, and the woke organizations are in collapse? Ladies and gentlemen, get woke, go broke. You can't deny it. We are winning the culture war. Now, politically, you can say anything you want to say. I get it. But my focus is always culture. Here's the story from the Daily Beast. Jezebel was indefinitely suspended on Thursday as major layoffs hit Geo Media, the Daily Beast has learned. The layoffs will affect 23 people, CEO Jim Spanfeller confirmed in a memo to staff on Thursday. And Geo Media editorial director Meryl Brown has also exited the company. Unfortunately, our business model and the audiences we serve across our network did not align with Jezebel's. Wow. And when that became clear, we undertook an expansive search for a new, perhaps better home that might ensure Jezebel a path forward. It became a personal mission of Leah Goldman, who worked tirelessly on the project, talking with over 24 potential buyers. It is a testament to Jezebel's heritage and bona fides that so many players engaged us. Still, despite every effort, we could not find Jez a new home. Why would anyone want a dying woke brand? Spanfeller praised the women's culture-focused outlet for its coverage of reproductive rights, blah, 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 blah. Media is nothing if not resilient, so are its practitioners, blah, 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 blah. All right. Will Sommer, fake news. That's who Will Sommer is. But he's got a memo. As of this week, we are making the very, very difficult decision to suspend publication of Jezebel. Few decisions over the course of my career have been as excruciating, and I want to make this clear. This is in no way a reflection on the Jezebel editorial team. It is. They have had many successes over the past year or so and continue to do great work in difficult times. To an individual, the Jezebel team has worked to meet and exceed their audience's needs and wants in an incredibly important time for core topics, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you wouldn't shut it down if they were doing well. Unfortunately, our business model and audiences we serve across our network did not align with Jezebel's. I haven't given up on Jezebel. Media is nothing if not resilient, so are its practitioners, blah, blah, blah. With the suspension of Jezebel's operations, we must unfortunately part ways with their incredibly talented editorial staff. I want to thank the site's team, both past and present, for the dedication, fearless voices, and indelible contributions to our culture. Yeah. Yeah, what's the opposite of a contribution? Detriments? Vice is also laying people off, but not like we care. Vice has been dead for some time. I am deeply offended at what Vice had become. You know, Vice had been around for a long time. And in the late 2000s, early 2010s, Vice was taking the world by storm. These documentaries that they were putting on YouTube were amazing. We loved watching them. It was entertaining. And YouTube saw this as a path towards competing with Netflix. The idea was that in terms of digital content consumption, YouTube was a big player. But when Netflix came around with digital streaming, all of a sudden, everyone started going to Netflix instead. If you wanted to watch something online, watch real content. YouTube tried to compete. They helped prop Vice up because Vice was making longer form content. I decided to join Vice because they were doing this amazing documentary work, and I did a few pretty great documentaries that got mini docs that got a ton of attention. The Kim.com documentary got millions. The North Korea Motorcycle Diaries, for which I was the field producer, received millions. Our coverage in Brazil and Ukraine and Turkey, millions. It was tremendous. It was an honor to have worked on these projects. But they didn't want to listen to me. You know, I had talked with the executive staff. They did not want to listen to me. And they don't have to. It's their company. They can do whatever they want. I'm sure they all cashed out. They're wealthy and they can go about their days saying, who cares? We're rich. Fine. I'm more of a culture warrior. I'm passionate. I want to build things and I want to make the world a better place. So upon leaving this company and going and taking a salary job for Fusion, which then when that contract expired, I launched this company. Slowly but surely. Since 2016, we have been building up the Timcast media company and its ancillary brands. And we've done a lot of tremendous things. And so I only say this. It is not correct to say that digital media is dying or that establishment media is taking over. It's just absolutely not true. The reality is these people just lit everything on fire. They refuse to listen to reason. They refuse to understand. I got to tell you, my friends, I told Vice this back in 2013, 10 years ago. You need to focus on individuals. Create shows with the individual. You have a reporter. He's going on the ground. He's doing these docs. Get him a channel. He should be on Twitter. He should be on Instagram. He should be on YouTube. You should have Vice-owned individual creator channels. And they were like, I don't know, sure, whatever. And they didn't do it. Why? So much of what we're seeing right now is the rise of subscription-based personalities. Now, all you got to do is look at the Daily Wire. Their core talent each run their own channels. That was what I was telling them to do. When I was at Fusion, we explained to them, get woke, go broke, dude. This is not correct. You're going to burn everything to the ground. They didn't care, and they did. And here's where we are. I got this tweet from Anna Merlin. She says, today is yet another rough day in media. Dozens of my Vice colleagues are being laid off globally. And we just got news that Jezebel, where I worked for years, is being shut down. She ends by saying, news cannot be dominated by individual newsletters, AI-generated garbage, and a few legacy publications that can't cover everything. This is simply not a good media environment, and we will pay for it in generations. It's silly to tweet this now that Twitter is completely dominated by the worst people online, but rest assured, I have all of you muted already. Whinge more. I'm gonna have to say it, but I've said it before, and we get ignored all the time for whatever reason. I don't quite understand, but whatever. Maybe Timcast doesn't fit the mold. Not easy to attack. We are, I don't know. Timcast has probably around 40 employees, growing every single day, and launching new ventures and bringing in new revenue streams. This is an 8-figure per year business. That's right. Probably, I don't know if you're supposed to say this or not. A lot of companies put out their numbers. I don't know. We keep it relatively private, but let me just say, I've said it before, 8-figure business. That's our revenue stream. And we do a lot. And it's probably greater than that. We've separated off. We've launched a bunch of companies. Obviously, we have Cast Brew Coffee. We're building coffee shops. We have a lot of great investments. And we're growing like crazy. I don't know how much we can grow, how far we can get. My mission is not to be Disney or anything like that. I say that before, like in the past, somewhat facetiously, like in 100 years, we will dominate the culture. I'm just talking about doing the right thing, making the right message, pushing the right message out. And that is authenticity and the right of the people to determine for themselves what is the correct path of governance. That means I'll try to be as honest as I can, and I get things wrong. I won't tell you what you have to think or what you should think, whatever. You can completely disagree with me. When you come to a show like the Tim Pool Daily Show, the podcast you're listening to right now, it goes on Apple and iTunes and all that stuff, Spotify, or Timcast IRL, or any of the other shows we have, the goal and the people that I like to surround myself with are those who are like, this is what really happened. Here's how I feel about it. Oh, you feel differently. Okay. There are people who come to me and they're mad that, we've got some pro-Israel or pro-Palestine employees. And I'm like, quite literally the ideological bent of this company is that people are allowed to have differing opinions and you're allowed to be mad at them for it. I'm not going to fire people for having political opinions on issues. I will say, though, as I've said a lot, if your political opinion is the suppression of other people's rights and things like that, well, we're going to have another conversation. But this is the funny thing. And the reason why I highlight this tweet, the media is not being dominated by legacy publications. Look, Daily Wire's had a meteoric rise. They're launching their children's streaming service. Jeremy just put out deodorant and soap and stuff. I think we have a bunch of it because we love what they're doing with, challenging the mainstream. Public Square is taking the world by storm, an app that shows you companies that believe in your values. Yeah, sorry, we've started winning this. We are taking back the culture. We are building the parallel economy. And so they're screaming and crying that they're losing, acting like no independent media exists. Yeah, sorry. Timcast has no external investment. It was built from the ground up with zero marketing. That's the fact. We've since done some marketing. We are now heavily marketing Infringed, the documentary by Lauren Southern. Go watch it. But I think it's fair to say that no, you're just losing because you have bad ideas and you're bad people who lie. And that's it. That's what's happening. We're winning. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.